everyone, welcome to Revisewell. Dear students, let's learn in today's class about the brief life sketch of Gautam Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, with reference to his teachings. So, Buddha, whose early name was Siddhartha, later he was regarded as Gautama Buddha, or he became Gautam Buddha, who was born in the 6th century BCE, which means the duration from 601 to 500. 600 to 501 is the duration of 6th century BCE. That was the birth century of Gautam Buddha, whose early name is Siddhartha. And his father's name was Shuddhodana, the king of republic called as Shakya. They actually belong to the Gana, or they belong to the clan called as Sakya clan or the Shakya clan. Here the Sakya are group, or what do we call it as clan also. They belong to the clan or group of families called as Sakya clan, which was a republic, and the king of that republic called Sakya was Siddhartha's father Shuddhodana. Renouncing kingly luxury and familial happiness, Siddhartha became a hermit. So just like how Vardhaman Mahavira, after his marriage, after having a child, he renounced his family, his house, and as well as his family members. So the same thing has also happened with Siddhartha. He even has renounced his family, and the luxuries, the comforts which were there in his life, he has all abandoned them. He has rejected all those luxuries which were present in his life, and as well as familial happiness which was associated with his family, and Siddhartha became a hermit. Hermit means what, children? He became a loner. What made Siddhartha to convert as a hermit? So the four incidences which I can say that it has changed the life of Siddhartha when he was a young prince, because he was born in a royal family and his father was a king actually. So one day Siddhartha has seen some four incidences which has changed his mind totally, and that was the day where he has decided to renounce his family and went in search of knowledge. So the first incident what he was seen is about an old man. He saw one of the old man with all the wrinkles on his face, and his shoulders were totally drooped, and he was shivering with cold. So that was the incident which he has seen. Usually age-old people, how would be their children? They turn, the body get or the face gets wrinkles, right? And they completely droop their shoulders. So that was the first incident which come across by Siddhartha. The second incident, what he was seen, is a man who is wounded totally. As the wounded person will enjoy his pain? No, right? So he is almost like having the injuries on his body, and he was weeping, crying, he is expressing his pain and grief. So that was the incident which has also moved Siddhartha. The third incident what he has seen is a dead body which was carried by the four persons. So that was the incident he has seen at the third site, where a dead body is being carried by the people, and the dead body is being followed by the mourners. Mourners means the one who is crying or weeping at the death of his relative or family member. So that has also made Siddhartha to think a while that what is present in this universe. Everywhere he could see the pain, grief, and the sorrow. So the fourth incident what was seen by Siddhartha was a man who is completely involved in the process called as meditation. So Siddhartha also felt very good to see that person who is deeply involved in doing the meditation, and his face was so charming. He looks very much problemless, and he looks very much happy enough. So that made Siddhartha to decide at that particular moment that he also need to search for the answers which has arisen in his mind. So that was the day where Siddhartha has left his house, renouncing every family member. Disillusioned with the prevailing ways of life, he embarked upon a quest for the truth. So, what was he searching for, children? He was searching for the truth. Disillusion means what? He got disappointed. He got disappointed with what? With the prevailing ways of life. That wherever it is, it's been seen that only sorrow and pain. That had disappointed Siddhartha very much. And he embarked at once. Embarked in the sense what? He has started at once in order to go in search of what? In search of truth. To find the answers what is present and troubling in his mind. Attaining enlightenment, he became the Buddha. Enlightenment means what, children? Becoming known with or becoming enlightened and known with the insight. So, what is he now called as? Siddhartha now called as Buddha. What does the word Buddha mean? Buddha means the enlightened one, those who have conquered all the questions. I mean, he has got the answers with all the questions which was troubling all these days by performing the meditation by in search of the truth and knowledge. After Buddha became an enlightened person, then he first went to the place called Sarnath, which is near Benares. Where is Benares, children? It is located in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So the first place where he went there was Benares, and that is Sarnath, near Benares. There in the deer park, he gave his first sermon. First sermon means what? The spiritual knowledge or the spiritual teaching. The first spiritual teaching has been given by Buddha at the place called Sarnath. And what do we call it as? The first sermon of Buddha after he became the enlightened one. This has been called Dharma Chakra Pravartana. So we can also say that what he has taught at Sarnath is nothing but all about the good deeds and as well as performing the Dharma. So this incident or this first sermon is also called as Dharma Chakra Pravartana. Here he preached the four noble truths and the eightfold paths. So Buddha, after he got to know about the truth, what it is, later on he wanted to spread about this for the people as well. So he slowly started to make his own followers by the weapons or by the motivational principles called as the four noble truths and the eightfold path. Let's see which are those four noble truths. The four noble truths which were declared the whole world is full of what, children? Sorrows and the sufferings. So what was the first noble truth which was taught by Buddha to the people and to the followers is? He understood that the whole world is full of sorrows, pain, grief and as well as the sufferings. So what was the second noble truth known by him is he got to know about the root cause for the sorrow. That is the second noble truth. The third one is Buddha realized that desire was the root cause of what? Root cause of sorrow. The first truth says that the entire whole world is full of what? Sorrows. The third truth says that reason for the sorrow is what, children? People having the desires. The more and more desires, the more and more greediness which they have, that is the root cause for what? Sorrow. Who taught this? These noble truths have been taught by Gautam Buddha. The fourth noble truth is only by the liberation of excessive desire, liberating means leaving it free. So by doing such liberation of excessive means what? The more desires. Desires means wants. Remember here, I am not telling that desires are the needs, they are the wants. People are not satisfied with what they are having with. They have more and more desires and wants. That is the ultimate reason for what, children? Sorrow. So what should be done here? These are the desires could be a peaceful life to lead. So once when you eradicate, when we remove these excessive desires what we have in our life, then we could lead a life of peaceful one. So that was the fourth noble truth taught by Buddha. I hope you understood these four noble truths taught by him. Let's see the eightfold path. So, the inner meaning of eightfold path is to eliminate the desires, to remove the desires and to make them vanish away in their life. What should they do? They must follow this middle path, right? Let's see which are that. The eightfold path is also called as the middle path. What are they? Right action, right speech, right vision, right livelihood, right effort, right recollection, right resolve, and right thought. So these are the eightfold paths or the middle path taught by Buddha in order to eradicate or in order to eliminate all the unwanted desires in their life. What should the people do? People must follow the eightfold path, which leads them to have a very simple life and as well as a peaceful life. So, who got inspired by these eightfold path, and after learning the noble truths, there would be some people who were becoming the staunch followers of this religion, children. Who are they? The wealthy merchants. Wealthy here, rich merchants. Who are the merchants? The merchants might be the fruit merchants or the flower merchants or the like cloth merchants. So those merchants are nothing but here the traders who go place to place in order to make their sellings and to make the exchange of their goods. So they are the first persons who started to attract towards this new religion, and they also got to realize the hidden truth and eightfold path which was taught by Buddha. The other group of people who followed this new religion were artisans. So artisans, who are those group of people? They are called as the weavers, or they are called as the people who do the pots. What do we call them as? Potters, or the people called as the carpenters. So simply, the things are the professions which are associated with the craft. Such people are called as the artisans. So such people have also got to follow this religion called Buddhism. And the common people or the ordinary people, they were also inspired by the new teachings. Buddha gave his message in the Prakrit language because that is the language commonly known for everybody, and it is a language which is known for the ordinary people as well. Because though the Sanskrit was in usage, but the language known to everybody was Pali language. So that was the main intention of using the language for teaching. So those are the group of people who firstly started to follow these teachings of Buddha, and they were also very much liked and impressed by. Buddha and his followers, who Buddha and as well as his followers visited the places called Kosala, Magadha. So these are the cities where they are located on the Gangetic plain, the river Ganga or the river Ganges. So plain means what, children? The land which is so fertile and the land is so level or flat land. So they spread his message there, the places called as Kosala and Magadha. Firstly, they were the republics and the Mahajanapadas. Later on, they have also got the identity as kingdom. You must have heard about the name of the kingdom called as Magadha kingdom. They walked, they means here Buddha and as well as his followers. They walked from one city to another and devoted their lives for others. So in this way, Buddha has not only taught the people about his message and what he believes, he also made the people to realize that what is truth in order to know by themselves. The very example what we have is all about the story of Kisa Gautami, where Buddha made to realize this women that the death is eternal one and it is a universal truth also, right? So in the 80th year of his life, Buddha's glorious life and selfless service came to an end at the place called as Kushinagar. This has been called Mahaparinirvana. So that is the death of Buddha at the age of 80, which is called as what, children? Mahaparinirvana. and the place which happened, that is Kushinagar. So viharas were constructed in all the areas in which Buddha wandered. Viharas means what? Viharas are nothing but the monasteries. So when the people like Buddha and his followers are wandering from one place to another place, at certain time they do need the rest. So during the resting time, they had made some special places. It might be the places which are located inside the hills or inside the small caves, and even they have constructed the viharas, children. The other name to be called it as monasteries. So monasteries are nothing but the resting places, and who were living in these monasteries and viharas? They were nuns and the monks. Monks are nothing but here the followers of Buddha who are male, and whereas nuns are the female ones. They constructed in the areas where the Buddha wandered. So that is the symbol of what? That could be the place where Buddha had also visited once. So that was the main idea of making the viharas to build. People preserved his relics. Relics means what, children? Remains. The remains in the form of the body organs or the parts, which are, and in the form of bones. Where were they preserved? They were preserved in the Chaityalayas. So Chaityalayas are just nothing but what? They are the prayer halls. They are the spiritual centers called as the temples. So why were they respected and why were they worshipped those things? Because they have preserved the relics of the Buddha. Where? In the places called as Chaityalayas, and they have also made these stupas. Can you see the stupa which is located here? And this stupa is at Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh. And in memory of his accomplishments, started worshipping him. This was how the first temples, idols, and idol worship began. See, Buddha is some of the places in all over the world. Buddha is being worshipped in the form of idols, where the people have placed the idols and they started to follow him, meditate him, and worship him. And there are some of the places in these various parts of the world where Buddha is worshipped in the form of just stupas, where they are nothing is present, just doing the meditation and remembering in the name of him. So this is how the religion called as Buddhism started to develop and widespread in the various parts of India and as well as across India. After Buddha's death, his followers collected his teachings and the tradition in the form of what? Tripitakas. The word Tripitakas here nothing but what, children? Three means what? Triple, or we call it as three. And Pitakas are nothing but the baskets. The teachings of the Buddha are preserved in the form of what? Tripitakas, which is in the language of English called as triple baskets. What are they? They are the Vinaya Pitaka, Dhamma Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. So the another word to be called for the Dhamma Pitaka is Sutta Pitaka. Vinaya Pitaka, the word itself, it is saying that the Pitaka explains about what, children? Discipline. Vinaya Pitaka explains about the discipline. Sutta Pitaka or Dhamma Pitaka explains about the behavior. And whereas Abhidhamma Pitaka will explains about the knowledge which is a righteous one. So these are the teachings which were taught by him, which are preserved in the form of the Tripitakas, which are nothing but three baskets or triple baskets. Which are they? Abhidhamma Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, and Sutta Pitaka or Dhamma Pitaka. Over a period, disagreements developed in the teachings and different branches of Buddhism, they started to sprang up. So slow by slow, however, the Buddhism got widespreaded here and there. So slowly people started to make the divisions in the religion called Buddhism, children, which is nothing but what here? The branches of Buddhism have been got spreaded. What are those branches? The branches called as Hinayana Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, and Vajrayana Buddhism. And as well as their sutras came into being. What made this division to happen? because of the people's belief in Buddha in the different kinds. So there is a belief which is different from one branch to another branch of Buddhism. Which are they? Let me tell you about the Hinayana Buddhism and Mahayana Buddhism. Hinayana Buddhism are those group of people who have started to follow the Buddha and as well as his teachings, remembering him and as well as treating him as an ordinary human being. What was the belief of the Hinayana followers, children? Hinayana followers were thinking Buddha as an ordinary human being, whereas Mahayana Buddhism followers are thinking that Buddha was very Mahan. That means he is so divine human being. So this opinion has made the branches to get divided or spreaded into many. So what does the Hinayana Buddhism believes? Him as a very ordinary human being, whereas the Mahayana believes him as a very divine and noble human being. Today we see many organizations across the globe adopting the different ways of realizing Buddha. So that's what I said, in the form of statues, in the form of idols, and as well as in the form of stupas, Buddha is being worshipped and as well as believed in various parts of the world. So this is about the end of the class, where we have learnt about the early life of Gautam Buddha, his teachings in the form of noble truths and as well as eightfold path, and the division of Buddhism in Hinayana and Mahayana. Thank you.